Football's up and down, isn't it? The last time we spoke, it was 10 minutes after West Brom, and then came Reading. Can you explain Saturday's performance?
No, it's a mad game, innit? It's a crazy game, obviously. We were disappointed without there being really anything in the game for long spells. We were a bit careless on the ball, and we just weren't anything like we were against West Brom, which is annoying. But we have to find that consistency and find a way to get that back, because we have had it in spells this season.
Absolutely, you've shown this season some real high, exciting performances. How do you replicate that on a more regular basis?
I think some lads are different, but as a team collectively, we've just got to go back to sort of what we're good at, and what was good in them games that we played, and what things we were doing well. So I think we just get back to that, and all be positive frame of mind, and just the games come thick and fast in the league, so you just gotta, literally as soon as one finishes, the next one's coming up. So you've just got to focus onto that really.
And I gather this week has been hampered by a bit of illness in the camp. So it sounds like there'll be some changes on Saturday. Yeah,
you never know. Obviously, there's a couple of lads who are ill and stuff like that. So maybe a couple of changes, but maybe a couple of changes anyway. You don't know. Obviously, manager picks the team what's best for that game. So yeah, just everyone's got to be ready to play a part.
I think Saturday's perfect for you. Swansea, very attractive, like to play out from the back. I can see you already closing down those defenders, trying to nip the ball off them.
Yeah, obviously it's a bit of a big game as well here. So I love every game. I love the big games. Yeah, and I love playing in every game really.
Yeah, Cardiff was special, wasn't it? And Swansea will be a special atmosphere despite the 12 o'clock kickoff.
Yeah, they won't have much time to get a couple of drinks in, will they? So. But no, it'll be a good atmosphere. Cardiff was brilliant. That was another 12 o'clock kick-off, which was atmosphere, different class. And as I said to you the other day, there's no point me asking them we've got to give them something to really get up and get excited about. So it's down to us. And then if they can get behind us, we'll try our best to put really good performance in.
Is the approach the same if you're facing a side who've lost 7 of their last 9 matches, or in Swansea's case, they've won 7 of their last 9 matches?
Yeah, it doesn't mean nothing. Obviously, they're going to be confident. They're going to be in good form. We've had really good spells of form where we've went unbeaten, and then spells where we haven't done so good. It's just we've just caught them at a time when they're in good form. It's not really doesn't really change anything for us. We always focus on ourselves and what strengths we have to beat the opposition.
The manager said pre-season, let's be ambitious, let's go for promotion, or we're going to get in the Premier League. Is that still the ambition? Have you shown this season that you have the potential to push up the table?
Yeah, we speak about it. We want to finish as high as possible. We want to finish in their playoff positions, and I don't think we should be scared and shy away from saying that. The league's so tight. A couple of wins, you're back in it. Obviously, we've had a couple of inconsistent results and we're just floating a little bit at the minute, but a couple of wins just straight back in there, and we've shown this season we can compete against top teams. So if we get back to that level of performance of how good we have performed, especially at the start, I know we can put a run of games together and we can really have a good go.
And this season as a freak, it's really good to get some momentum and results, because you've got this World Cup break coming up, which we've never experienced before.
Yeah, no, obviously it's new, and you're sort of taking the season in stages. We had the international break, and then you've got this other stage now going to the World Cup break, and then you'll have the next stage going into the next international. So it's sort of built up in little stages, and we're just looking to get as many points as we can in each stage. So we've got, I think it's 4 games or so now left, and we're just going to try and pick as many points up and try and be in touching distance with that pack at the top. And
that's it from me. I'll just contradict myself finally. We've done an interview and we're not talking about injury, which is really refreshing, isn't it? It just shows how consistent you've been on and off the pitch this season.
Yeah, obviously I said last time, I just get my head down. I've had I think it was my first good pre-season that I've had in, I don't know how long. So I had a good pre-season and I'm feeling really good. I'm enjoying being fit, and past is the past. They're just here and now, aren't we? So just crack on with it.
Keep up the good work. Thank you.
Thanks, man. Thank you, Ta.
Enjoy the
press conference a couple of months ago, he actually said that the lads were giving you grief for not scoring.
Yeah.
You're going to give something back now to.
Oh yeah, give them a couple. I'll give them a little earful, to be fair. Yeah, and even though it was a little tap in, I had to give them a little earful.
Have you been conscious though, at the lack of goals in seriousness about coming from midfield, and Pearson's reiterated the message that he wants goals from midfield? Has that played on your mind at all?
I wouldn't say it played on my mind, because different games you have to play for different roles. So, you know, as I said the other day, we played as 3 midfielders. One as the light, because normally it's been Andy in the 10, and he's been getting forward, getting his goals. And obviously Andy went in the team the other day, so we had the 3 midfielders where one could probably have a bit more licence to get into the box. Whereas when we sort of play with a 2, with that link between defence, we're trying to lock the counter attacks out and not really getting in the box as much. But I do agree with what he's saying. We need to chip in with a lot more goals, and the players we've got players who can strike a ball really well, and I think we can really add that to our game. That's one thing that I think we've got to really improve on. And wing backs as well, because we get our wing backs into the box a lot of the time. So midfielders and wing backs, I think we can chip in with a lot more.
Yeah, that flat midfield 3 you just mentioned, because you just give one of you a licence, I guess, to move forwards and balance. But to score those goals, is it all about the timing of the run going forward and taking that risk?
Yeah, I suppose so. It's just about having that desire. I think it's just desire to get in the box and get on the end of something. And I think our strikers have got that really well. You see them flying across the box, and the amount of goals they've scored. Obviously, we want our strikers to keep scoring goals, and we want to keep creating chances for them. But if we can chip in and help them a bit, obviously make that box a little bit more, I think it'll make life a bit easier for them.
Well, what's been the focus this week in training? I imagine the dressing room after the Reading game was quite a difficult place to be in. Yeah,
every time you lose, like, the lads don't like losing. I don't like losing. It was quiet, and so it should be when you lose. We were disappointed in ourselves. But you've just got to do the same as what we've been doing. You know, it's just about repetition all the time, and you know, we train really well. Everyone trains to the maximum every single day, so it's just about repetition and keeping it going, and hopefully come the end of the season that'll all show in the end.
Do you think that the inconsistency, I'm not just talking about Bristol City, I'm talking about the whole of the championship, because it has fluctuated completely. The table changes every couple of weeks really. Do you think that the fact that the games are so condensed due to the World Cup break is having an impact on that?
Possibly, but I think this year a lot of teams are at a similar level, and I think everyone can beat each other. I think last year you had Fulham and Bournemouth who sort of ran away with it. They had a lot of money behind them, a lot of big players who they kept from the Premier League. Whereas I think this year, I think I think every team's beatable, and I don't think the difference in quality is that big from a lot of the teams in the league. So I think that's why I wouldn't say it's inconsistent. I just feel as if anyone can beat anyone on that given day.
Nigel was saying on Saturday about the lack of consistency from West Brom to the Reading game. How does he reinforce that message to the players and try and find that consistency? Because I guess it's something you can't really work on the training ground. Is it like a mental thing, or?
It's down to us. It's down to the individuals on the pitch. You know, Gaffer and the staff give us. We knew what we had to do against Reading. We didn't do it good enough as players. We knew we had to shift the ball around the back fast and move the ball better than we did, and we didn't. And that can't be on what the manager's got to give to us, because he's already given it to us. We haven't went and done it on the pitch, and we've got to look at ourselves, and we've got to say, listen, we've got to start taking the initiative and start playing consistently every week ourselves, because at the end of the day, manager can't hold down on the pitch and on a Saturday, so we're all out there, all 11 or 18 of us, we're all out there, we're all there together, and every time he gives us a bit of advice, we'll take it, and we'll try and do it to the best of our ability. But as I say, it's on us on that pitch now.
Cheers, Joe. Good luck.
Thank you, Tom.
Thanks, Joe. Obviously a bit of illness in the team this week. A few under 21 players have been drafted in. Have you seen perhaps the reaction from them that they're out to impress, that they try and make a tackle or try and rush to a ball quickly, perhaps you wouldn't see usually?
No, do you know what? They always come up, and they're always like I was like that when I was in the 23s at Everton. I'd always come up and I'd try and get stuck in and make a mark, and they're always like that. They're always working hard, getting stuck in, and we all love that as lads. We all love it when they come up and they're a bit physical, because we think got a bit about them, like. So they've always been like that. So I'm sure wherever, if Gaffer picks any of them or any of them get in the squad, that's because of how they've trained and how they've performed in training.
From seeing social media, it always seems you're always involved in videos. It seems like you're a dressing room leader. You kind of like let any of them under your wing at all, or that just trying to help them get through it.
Yeah, like we always try and have little chats with them. We've got a good group of lads in there, and try and give as much advice as we can. Obviously we've got a few young lads who are playing every week as well, so we try and give them as much advice as they can. But as I just say to them, just come up and just work hard and do what you can do to try and impress people, because as I say, you're not here to make friends, you're here to get in that first team, you're here to try and impress people, and as when you get in there, stay in there. So that's the only real message I'd say to them.
4 starts in a row for you now. How good does it feel personally being able to contribute to the side on a more regular basis?
Yeah, brilliant. Obviously everyone knows how frustrating of a time that I've sort of had. But I've always knew, like, before I come here, I'd done 40 games, 38 games. I've always knew back to back I could do games. And in my mind, that didn't change, or I didn't doubt myself at any point that I could do back to back games. It was just unlucky, and I've said it loads. Dave and the physios and that have been brilliant with me. We've corrected a few things that I felt like I probably wasn't doing so well in the gym and stuff like that, and corrected a couple of things, and now I feel probably best I've felt physically, and I don't think that's a problem for me anymore, to be honest.
And what were those things? Were they more like weight training, for example? Or?
Yeah, just obviously I had little niggles and little stuff like that. It was just if you had sort of little bits of strength differences on either leg or something, and now we do all the tests and everything's in like sort of perfectly level, perfect shape and stuff like that. So without going into too much detail, and all me scores in the gym, my testing and all that's really good now. So that's why I'm able to do these games back to back now.
And that flat midfield three worked well against West Brom. Do you think that would be beneficial this weekend to combat Swansea's kind of possession style?
It's up to the manager, I think both ways we can do it well. We've got players who can play as a 2 and players who can play as a 10 in front. We've played really good in games when we've done that, and then we've had a couple of good games of late when we've played the flat 3 as well. So however the manager wants to go about it, that's obviously down to him. I think either way, all the lads are comfortable, whatever we play.
And does it suit your game more, giving more license to get forward, would you say, or not?
I like both. I like to play in a 2 because I like to get on the ball and I like to have a lot of touches, and then I like to play a bit higher up where I can get about people and probably be a bit more positive and get forward a little bit more. But I really like both. There's really good ways in both of the positions, really.